Right now, NASCAR feels absolutely wild because two major stories are unfolding at the same time, and together, they're telling us one thing loud and clear. This season is already heading in a completely different direction. On one side, you've got a start so dominant, it's raising the ceiling for the entire year. On the other, you've got the kind of pressure that makes the whole garage start looking over its shoulder. And honestly, that's when you know something real is happening in this sport. When the numbers get this serious, and the reaction around them gets this intense, fans know this isn't just another normal week in the Cup Series. Before we dive into it, if you're a real NASCAR fan, make sure to like and subscribe to Fast Lane News. Now let's talk about the driver who just turned this entire week into something bigger. Tyler Reddick. This is no longer just a strong early season run. This is something much more serious. After winning at Darlington Raceway, Reddick now has 4 wins in the first 6 races of the 2026 season. And that's not just an impressive stat, that's a historic one. Because only 2 drivers have ever done this before. Dale Earnhardt in 1987 and Bill Elliott in 1992. And when your name gets mentioned alongside those two, it tells you everything you need to know. This isn't luck, this is dominance. But what really makes this stand out is how he's done it. This hasn't been one type of track, it hasn't been one perfect scenario, and it definitely hasn't been a lucky streak. It started with a win at Daytona, then another at Atlanta, then Circuit of the Americas, and now Darlington. Those are completely different challenges. Daytona is all about chaos and survival. Atlanta demands high-speed aggression in the draft. COTA requires precision and rhythm. And Darlington? Darlington demands everything. Discipline, tire management, patience, and total control. And honestly, that Darlington win might have said the most. After more modest runs at Phoenix and Las Vegas, there were real questions. Had the momentum cooled off? But instead of slipping, Reddick responded with a calm, controlled, veteran-level performance. He managed tire wear, worked through traffic, stayed composed under pressure, and delivered when it mattered most. And that's the kind of race people remember. Because it wasn't just about speed, it was about control. That's why this start feels so real. Even in the races he hasn't won, Reddick has stayed right there in the fight. He's limited damage, protected his position, and kept the momentum alive. And that's the difference between a driver who comes out hot early and one who's still standing when the championship pressure hits later in the season. Right now, Reddick looks like the second kind, and the historical comparison matters. Dale Earnhardt turned that kind of start into 11 wins and a championship. Bill Elliott turned it into one of the most intense title battles in modern NASCAR history. Now, no one's saying Reddick is guaranteed to follow that exact path, but being placed in that company after just 6 races? That raises expectations everywhere. Inside the garage, among fans, and for Reddick himself. There are still records he can't touch, and it's important to keep that in perspective. But that doesn't take away from what's in front of him. With tracks like Martinsville, Bristol, and Kansas coming up, there's a real opportunity to build on this lead and create even more separation from the field. And that's really the biggest takeaway here. Yes, the stat is huge, but the meaning behind it is even bigger. Tyler Reddick has proven he can win anywhere. Superspeedways, intermediates, road courses. He's handled pressure, responded to setbacks, and stayed dangerous every single week. And when a driver starts doing all of that at once, the rest of the field isn't just competing anymore. They're reacting. You know that feeling when a driver looks unstoppable right from the start? That's exactly what's happening right now. This combination of skill, strategy, and raw speed is what makes a driver feel like a real title contender, not just the hottest name for the moment. Through 6 races, Tyler Reddick has already pulled off something NASCAR has only seen twice before. But the big question now is simple. Will this be just a hot start or the defining season of his career? And that brings us to the second story. Because when someone kicks off a season like this, it's never just excitement. Music. There's curiosity, suspicion, pressure, and a whole lot of eyes watching, trying to figure out exactly where the edge is coming from. After Reich's latest win at Darlington Raceway, rival teams across the NASCAR Cup Series garage reportedly started pushing for a closer look at the number 45 car and the 2,311 racing operation. And let's be real, this is classic NASCAR. The moment one team starts winning consistently, everyone else starts leaning in, studying every detail. Tyler Reek's fourth win in the first 6 races has cemented him as one of the earliest championship favorites. But it's also sparked quiet conversations among competitors who want NASCAR officials to take a deeper look. Reich drives for 2,311 Racing, co-owned by Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin. Music. And this part matters. This isn't some one-weekend underdog story. 2,311. Racing has been quietly building into a powerhouse, and now their level of dominance has rivals asking, how are they doing it? Sources say multiple teams are even considering requesting a technical inspection from NASCAR. Let's be clear, this doesn't automatically mean cheating. The goal is simply to ensure every part of the car is fully compliant with the NASCAR rulebook. In this sport, success brings scrutiny, and dominant teams always get watched closer. One anonymous team executive told ESPN it perfectly. When someone wins 4 of the first 6 races, people naturally start looking harder. That's the reality. And right now, the facts are clear. NASCAR performs standard post-race inspections on all winners, and no violations have been reported for Reek's car this season. The confidence around Reek in 2,311 Racing is high. Analysts credit this hot streak to strong engineering, smart car setup, and Tyler Reek's tire management, especially on tough tracks like Darlington. What we're seeing isn't magic. It's a team and driver in perfect sync, making smart adjustments and executing at a level above the rest of the field. But remember, NASCAR is a sport of razor-thin margins. Tiny gains can make all the difference. When a team starts stacking wins, rivals don't just sit back, they study every detail. Data, setups, pit crew execution, even body lines. That's why this second story matters. Tyler Reich's historic start isn't just headlines, it's shaping the entire mood of the garage. From a fan's perspective, that's exciting. Every race now has an extra layer of drama. Can Reek keep winning while the garage watches more closely than ever? Can 2,311 Racing maintain this level under pressure? And if rival teams push for more inspections, how will NASCAR respond? Music. Here's the kicker. Nobody requests inspections on teams they aren't worried about. The fact that competitors are scrambling says everything Tyler Reich and 2,311 Racing are setting the standard. And Reich is driving like a man who knows it. When you connect both stories, the picture gets powerful. Tyler Reich joins Dale Earnhardt and Bill Elliott in one of the rarest early-season clubs in Cup Series history. The rest of the garage notices this dominance and is already reacting, quietly talking about closer scrutiny. That's what happens when a season starts to feel special. Historic numbers, high pressure, every competitor paying attention. For the championship picture, this is huge. A driver who can win at Daytona, Atlanta, Circuit of the Americas, and Darlington this early shows the range to go deep into the season and playoffs. For 2,311 Racing, this is a defining moment. And for the rest of the field, from drivers to team chiefs, the message is simple: catch up fast. Tyler Reek isn't just collecting trophies. He's reshaping the conversation in the NASCAR Cup Series. And as fans, this is exactly the stretch that gets you locked in every single weekend. There's excitement because a special season might be unfolding. Tension because dominance creates backlash. And curiosity because Martinsville, Bristol, and Kansas are coming. And those races will tell us if this run is just incredible or historic. That's why these stories matter so much. Tyler Reek isn't just winning, he's changing expectations, forcing reactions, and putting himself and 2,311 Racing at the center of NASCAR right now. Whether you love it, doubt it, or are still figuring it out, one thing is clear: the entire garage is paying attention. So, what do you think? Is Tyler Reich already building a championship season, or will the field close the gap soon? Is the inspection talk normal NASCAR politics, or is 2,311 Racing making everyone nervous? Drop your thoughts in the comments, Hit like and subscribe to NASCAR Insider Hub if you want honest opinions and real conversations about the sport. This is our new channel, Fastline News. If you want the real racing vibes and want to see every update first, then like, subscribe, and support us so you never miss a new race or update.